Hey everybody, I'm Scott and we are cooking with Breeo. Today we have a recipe that we're gonna use the sear plate griddle on the Breeo, and it's gonna be fantastic. It is lemon, honey, cottage cheese pancakes topped with a delicious sauce. Here we go. All right, first we're gonna start with the sauce. It's a pretty simple recipe. We are gonna cook it on the outpost on the Breeo. First things first, we need about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm actually gonna get that started just to melt it. I'm gonna put it right on the outpost to get that butter melted so it incorporates nicely. All right, that butter is pretty much melted. The key is you just want it to incorporate with the other ingredients. So we are gonna go in with just a little bit of milk to get that started and to mix in. I'm gonna start whisking. We want it to mix with the butter. And I'm not gonna add all the milk yet. I'll get most of it on the table. And then we're gonna start incorporating the sugar. The whole idea when you're incorporating dry ingredients into wet ingredients is if you start with a little bit of wet, if you start with a little bit of milk and add the sugar, it incorporates really nice. Same thing when you're doing flour, and then I can add a little more liquid at the end. And then we just have 2 tablespoons of flour. And that already looks delicious. We're gonna go right on to the outpost with it. Let it come to a boil and then we'll let it set. Okay, we got the cream, we got the syrup to finish it off on there. I am gonna keep an eye on it, but now we're gonna go ahead and make the pancakes. First, 1.5 cups of flour goes in. We're gonna be whisking a lot here as well, so keep that in mind. And basically we're just gonna combine all these ingredients together. This is a thicker recipe, so don't be surprised if it's a little bit thicker. That's gonna be perfect for cooking it on the sear plate griddle. All right, next we go in with 6 eggs. Oh, I am gonna get this butter melting a little bit. Put that on top of there. That'll get it, again, nice and liquid so it incorporates with everything. Otherwise, you'll just have chunks of butter and you don't want that. All right, next we are gonna go in with our cottage cheese. I am gonna get these eggs going a little bit first, get them beat it up, break all the yolks. Cottage cheese in. It's fantastic. Get all the chunks of the flour to be smoothed out. And the cottage cheese is gonna give it a little texture, which is gonna be really, really, really delicious. It's like these little nuggets of goodness when you bite into it. I don't really care for cottage cheese on its own that much, but mixed into something like this, it's gonna be fantastic. All right, now we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. This is incorporated nice. We got salt. Salt, again, with the sweetness of the dish, brings out the flavor. It's gonna bring out the flavor of the cottage cheese. I'm gonna quick give this a stir here. Don't want that to burn. We're just trying to bring it up to a boil, that's it. And I'm gonna check out the butter as well. It's nice and melted. Awesome, that's gonna be perfect. So in with the rest of the ingredients. Now, honey is the sweetener in the actual pancakes. And a little bit of honey goes a long way, but that is just gonna be so delicious. Scoop all that in. Excellent. Baking soda and baking powder. That's gonna help them rise. And then we have some vanilla as well. I'm gonna go right in with that and mix it all up. And then this can set for a little bit until we pull our sauce off or the syrup off, and then we're gonna put our sear plate griddle on top. We don't want to get the sear plate griddle too hot, which is why we don't have that on yet. We're gonna put that on just about 5 minutes before we're ready to make the actual pancakes. That way it doesn't get too hot. And then the last thing we're gonna do is add this butter. Just nice and melted. That'll melt right in there as well. And a little bit of lemon zest just for freshness. And this just elevates it as well. Lemon's that same type of thing, just elevates the dishes. It's the same in savory as it is in desserts. It's gonna really lift it, make it really fresh. And again, these chunks in here are the cottage cheese. It's not the flour or anything like that. It's the cottage cheese. And we're gonna let that rest a little bit and pull the syrup off. All right, she's boiling up, exactly what we wanna see. I did stir it along the way. I'm gonna pull it off. It's perfectly thickened. And now this is gonna sit while we actually make the pancakes. All right, so we're letting our cream syrup finish over there. I grabbed a buddy to help me grab this sear plate griddle. Now you set it on, you can kind of level it depending if your pit's a little bit off. If you have a temperature gauge, 350, 400 is really good. It's ideal, but you can always do a test piece. With pancakes, it's always good to do a test piece, so we might as well do the same as well. See if we're at a good temperature here. You can also do the, put your hand over it and feel where it's at. We'll do a little test piece, see how it goes. And I'm just going in. I'll try to get fairly uniform cakes here. Again, this is chunky, baby. Look at that. So I am just gonna do one to start, and then I'll rock and roll. I wanna see how it goes here. It's actually cooking really good. I think we're good to go. It's starting to already rise. It's already starting to bubble, so I think I'm gonna fill this sucker up and have at it. We're gonna add some blueberries on top here, make it look nice and festive. All right, so as you can see, these expanded a lot. That's okay, it is what it is. Some fell off the side of the plate, and we're just gonna make the best of it. I don't think it's gonna make it taste any different. All right, we're gonna try and flip the first one. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Over the fire. All right, we're pulling these last two off. The melty cottage cheese is just gonna be awesome. All right, they are all off. We're gonna set up our pancake stack here. Got a couple fresh blueberries to put on top. Just dice up a couple strawberries. Finish it off with a little lemon zest. And now for our sauce. And just a little bit more. There you have it. Delicious lemon, honey, cottage cheese pancakes, topped with fresh fruit, all cooked over the Breeo. I am gonna dig in. Just gotta find my fork, and it is time to enjoy this unique and delicious recipe. I mean, look at the gooiness of the cottage cheese coming out of there. It's just fantastic. Oh my word, get a little strawberry on there. That is fantastic. The cottage cheese gives it so much creaminess with the lemon zest. The only thing you gotta do is try this yourself. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Scott, and this is Cooking with Breeo. Have a good one.